Friends, hello, how are you? It is Sunday. Let's make a quick little video here, just kind of get down to the nitty gritty of Palantir and a stock that is starting to make some, noise out there, BigBear.ai, and people have been asking me about it, and I just I've been watching it for a while here, but I do want to give my opinion, what I think about it. Not that it really matters, but just how I feel about it. So let's talk about Palantir real fast, because I've already talked about Palantir so much, so I don't want to go on about Palantir, but I do want to warn people. More than likely this week, Palantir will jump up in price. That may sound crazy to say, and you're probably saying, how can Palantir jump up more this week? Well, Tuesday of this week, it's happening. Palantir will be put on the NASDAQ. So on the 26th, which is Tuesday, that's Tuesday, Palantir will be included into the NASDAQ. So from the S&P, it's on every major stock exchange at this point now. So this is what is going to drive more money into a company that already has so much money, and now you're about to see the stock probably go up even more. So there is a strong argument that this week Palantir could shoot up to $70 to $75. As insane as that sounds, with volume, money, everything, I get it, but hey, nothing has made sense here this year with these AI stocks, especially Palantir. The growth we have seen from this company, this stock. So this is why this is a very, Palantir has turned into one of these situations where it's very, very risky to not be a part of what's going on here. And, I understand it's the holidays, people are short on cash, they're short on capital. How much, I don't have $70 to buy a share of Palantir. Friends, I get it. Trust me, everyone has been there, and everybody has their ups and downs in life. But if you got $5, I'm talking to the people that have $5, $10, $15 that only have that. Maybe you have $3. Who knows? I get it, man. And you're like, I want to put it somewhere. Where should I put this kind of money? I think Palantir is one of those companies that is still obviously in a very, very young stage of growth right now. As crazy as that may sound, Palantir still has a lot to come here, because there's still a lot coming that we don't even know about going in 2025. What we do know is that Palantir is still in a place of growth where these next quarterlies that are coming here in 2025 are still going to bring really big revenue, and potentially even bigger revenue than what's going. We know that Trump's elected. What does Trump love to spend money on? Defense. What does Palantir already have contracts with? Our military. So they already have a lot of military contracts, big contracts. So, and Palantir and people in the Trump administration are already friends. They know each other. So this is probably why we could continue to see these contracts grow and get bigger with Palantir here. Even, that's great when you have money from your own country coming in here. That's just a guaranteed paycheck. So this is why we're seeing Palantir just grow massively, in not only market cap, the stock price going up with that, but then just them being essentially a debt-free company and have a lot of cash on hand right now. So this conversation with Palantir, is only going to get better for people that are already in it, and for people that aren't in it, it's going to be a rougher conversation, because it's just going to continue to go up here. I remember when Palantir was at $55 just weeks ago, and people were like, I can't go to 60, can it? Now we're at 65, and we're probably going to be at 70, 75 here within days. That's a very real possibility. Now, even when we've seen sell-off here in Palantir, it hasn't really been that big of a sell-off, because we know every time a new story comes out here with Palantir about a new deal, new something, now this NASDAQ situation, there's always something else around the corner where we're like, well, that's going to happen in a few weeks. So it's like, people are like, I don't want to sell. Friends, listen, if you got $3, $5, $10, I would probably put it in Palantir if you're wanting to get in something. Grow your money. That's what I did years ago when I first came into the stock market. I didn't have hundreds of dollars. I didn't have thousands of dollars. I had $5, $10, $20 on a good week. But I put it in healthy companies, growing companies. Now, I learned a lot of lessons on the way up. A lot of bad decisions were made. But in the beginning, it's better just to grow your portfolio into something. Make you feel good. Be like, oh man, look, I put $5 in this and now I'm up $2. That may not sound like a lot to a lot of people, but when you don't have much, especially around the holidays like now, I get it. But as you keep building these positions, these portfolios, things start to take shape over a year's time. So I hope that encourages someone, because I just know what it's like to not have a lot of money when you first start trading, or, even still, people, things are rough out there. I totally get it. So that's really all I want to say about Palantir. Like I said, I've talked so much about Palantir, I don't want to yap my mouth anymore about it, because there's nothing really new to say other than it's just it's a wonderful opportunity that you have this opportunity to get into a very growing AI company right now that has mass potential going into 2025 and is not slowing down from what it looks like whatsoever. Let's talk about BigBear. Okay, BigBear. I want to say this first, just because I'm talking about BigBear here, AI. This is not me saying to go and buy the stock by any means. There's some things that need to be talked about right now with this company. But this is nonetheless a company you should watch. So, let's kind of structure this out in our head right now. So, you have Nvidia, just king of the castle right now, king of the castle. Then you got Palantir moving up, making a lot of headway up, getting very close to, Palantir level here within a year or two. Okay. Then under Palantir, you've got something like SoundHound, very good youth, growing stock company, about to double their earnings going in next year. A lot of big things happening over there. That's why the stock is growing. Great company, SoundHound. Been talking about it. Okay, then we go even further down. Now we're talking about BigBear.ai. Okay, so SoundHound, a very growing company, still not debt free, still not in a debt free range, but nonetheless, it looks like by next year, we could be talking about a company that has cash on hand, which is big. And that's where companies get very expensive, like Palantir. SoundHound, doing very good. Right under SoundHound, you got BigBear, a company right now that is getting some contracts. They're doing better in quarterlies earnings here. And I've kind of put some stuff up here. This is just kind of some guideline stuff right here. This is just general information you can find. Growing year over year right now, but does have debt, has almost $200 million in debt. Big investors, they do not like debt. They do not like debt. That is what holds a lot of companies back, because they need to start paying off that debt. There's one reason a lot of these, big companies in general, but staying on these AI companies, why they get so expensive so fast, because they pay off all their freaking debt and they have cash on hand. And when you have these AI companies, like we're seeing like Nvidia, we're starting to see with Palantir, they have just like money just to do whatever they want to. They start buying up other AI companies, sectors. They're able to put more money in their company and grow it to bring in bigger revenue into the future. BigBear, somewhat new kid on the block, been around a little bit, but hey, starting to get some recognition here. BigBear just got this contract with the U.S. Army. Okay, so it's a $165 million government contract. That's not a whole lot of money in the terms of AI. $200 million in the sense of, AI contracts is not that big of a deal. It's a lot of money, but, you got to think, Palantir, one of their quarterlies alone is, 20 times that. Nvidia, you're talking about a company that's, what was their last quarterly the other week? Like 28 billion? Something insane. Just something insane. BigBear here is a very young, I wouldn't even call it youthful. I would call SoundHound maybe youthful. BigBear's still in this situation of, it's like this, kid stage where it's growing up, it's trying to get somewhere, and it could potentially be in a youth stage by next year, okay? Something like a SoundHound situation. In SoundHound situation, I'm expecting to go into maybe an adult situation maybe in 2025. You see where I'm trying to structure this, break this down for people? Okay, this is how I'm thinking of in my head. But BigBear, if you have money and you're able to risk it, BigBear could be something interesting to you. But this is not a company right now that I would tell you to put loads of money in and expect massive returns here very soon. Still in a growth stage, it's still in a stage of trying to get out of debt, trying to get more bigger contracts and do more into this future here. I say this because people are starting to talk about BigBear. I've talked about it once or twice here. You need to watch it. Big Bear is something you need to watch here. Now, say you're like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to put 20, 50, 100 bucks in it a week and start to build up a position. Maybe I'll get like 200-300 shares of it by next, within 6 months from now. Yeah, I mean, could it turn into something? Absolutely. This is a situation. SoundHound not long ago was a $2 stock that everyone was like, man, this thing's not. They have massive debt. They're not going anywhere. That situation changed real fast. Palantir, another great example. Not long ago, there were years ago where people were saying this about Palantir, a company that was in debt, didn't know where it was going. Now look at it. 15 years ago, NVIDIA, having this conversation about NVIDIA, maybe 20 years ago with NVIDIA. But what I'm trying to say is, they all have to start somewhere here. So I can't tell you that Big Bear is going to be the next Palantir. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying this could be a lucrative opportunity and something that you need to put in your favorites bar and watch it, okay? This is how people become rich. They find these young companies that still have debt, that still have issues, but are growing, have contracts. And the fact that they have this government contract with the U.S. Army is very, very positive, and we like that. Like that a lot. With that too, who knows, that could continue to grow into this year. So friends, that's kind of my thesis on Big Bear here, and I'm not even looking at a chart right now. You notice, like, it's almost $3. It'll probably sell off by, whatever. I don't care about a chart right now with Big Bear. What I'm looking at is money, quarterlies. What do people think about this? And one big issue, like I said, is they have a lot of debt. That's okay, because they're growing in revenue. They're able to pay off more debt. They're growing as a company. They're getting a lot more recognition, contracts. This is a situation to watch. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you to put in your favorites bar and you decide what to do. I personally would like to see one more quarterly from Big Bear and see what's going on here. That will be soon. Friends, that's kind of my thought on these two companies. Palantir will continue to break numbers here. I'm very bullish on it. Big Bear, I'm a little bearish on right now. I want to see a little more before I start really pushing money into it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it continues to shock people. It's in a very, very young stage right now of growth. So I think it could turn into something big. We're just going to have to wait and see. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Tomorrow's Monday. We don't have a lot of days in the market this week because of Thanksgiving, market closing early. I think on Friday it closes early. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.